Hey everyone, what is going on? So we are doing more Rainbow Cup battles. We actually have quite a bit of battles. I'm battling my friend Shagness. Now, I don't think she has a YouTube channel, at least she didn't mention that she had a YouTube channel, so I'll be linking her Twitter account in the description down below. Definitely go follow her if you don't already. I know you've seen her battle other trainers like, I believe, King, and I don't know if she's friends with Jimmy Banks or whatnot. She's battled other people that you may watch, so you definitely want to go ahead and follow her on Twitter. So as I said, I will link her Twitter in the description down below. She competed in regionals, so she's a really strong trainer. And yeah, we did a lot of battles tonight when these were recorded. I think 5 of the battles were recorded like a day or two ago, and then the rest of them we just sat down and just battled quite a bit. Not in person, of course, but she's, I don't know in person, but she's a really nice person, and these battles were fun. I definitely had a good time, but as I said, they are longer, or this video is really long. Not really long, I think it's about a half hour. So, grab some popcorn, right? Watch. This is basically an episode of Pokemon, or whatever you want to look at it as. Grab some popcorn, grab a drink, and enjoy yourself, because these battles were epic, and they were a lot of fun, and I learned a lot from battling her all this time. I learned a lot from battling different people, and I really enjoy it. But anyway, we do go ahead and take the first game, thanks to Meganium. So we're going to go ahead and pick that up. So yeah, we do win. And we're going to go ahead and jump into another battle. With this time, we are beginning with Poliwrath, and she begins with Azumel. So right off the bat, not a good lead for us. Just charging up a little bit of energy. Switching into Beedrill, so much better for us. She switches as soon as I hit that Sludge Bomb, so definitely a good switch on her end. However, that Sludge Bomb does a lot of damage to Charizard, because Beedrill has a good attack stat. So we're going to get Aerial Ace off, which would have knocked out her Charizard. So yeah. Despite the switch, we're still actually in a pretty good position. Bringing back in Poliwrath, just knocking it out with Bubble, and we have Ice Punch and Power Punch ready to go. And she brings out her Venusaur, so I'm going to go ahead and get off that Ice Punch. I guess I was a little bit surprised that she didn't bring in the Azumel, but I guess Venusaur also makes sense, because we're weak to Frenzy Plant and Vine Whip in general. But, yeah, so she's going to go ahead and switch into Azumel to catch my Ice Punch, and that was a really good switch on her end. Right now, we're going to eat this Poliwrath. Well, we're not going to eat it. She's going to eat us, because she's going to destroy us. Or at least my Poliwrath, that is. Bringing in Venusaur, we lagged a little bit, but not really a big deal. Again, lagging in practice matches, it doesn't really matter, because it's just practice, right? So we get off a Frenzy Plant against Azumel and knocking that out, and she brings in her Venusaur. Now, I knew I would be able to survive a Sludge Bomb. It wasn't a Sludge Bomb, though. It was a Frenzy Plant, so we do get off a Sludge Bomb of our own, knocking out the Venusaur, and we do take that game. So despite the poor lead, we do win anyway. So really fun game, really fun game. And, yeah, we'll see if I could last a half hour discussing all these battles. I should be able to, guys. But for this match, we try out Electrode. I've used it before, like against Jumbo Banks, even against Jokes, we've used it, right? We've used it quite a bit. Pretty interesting Pokemon. It's not my favorite. I think Raichu is better. But it's fun to use, because how often do you see Electrode bouncing up and down, right? How often do you use it? So I decided for the practice matches, yeah, might as well give it some love, right? Getting off a Thunderbolt right now, doing a good amount of damage. I mean, it is neutral to Lantern, or Lantern is neutral to it. We're going to bring in Shiny Blastoise, and I'm going to go ahead and shield that up, because I don't want to take that damage. So, yeah, just going to town with Water Gun. I probably should have saved that Hydro Cannon. I was just afraid she would have gotten to a Thunderbolt before I was able to knock her out with Water Gun. But either way, we bring in Charizard. She brings in Slowbro, so I'm going to go ahead and use a Blast Burn. Blast Burn is just a strong move in general, isn't it? I mean, it just does so much damage, even to something that resists it, like Slowbro, or other Pokemon. Blastoise is still doing like 40% to Blastoise, maybe a little bit less, but it's still doing a lot of damage. But right now we get off in Ice Beam, and that is going to be blocked, and she's going to be able to finish us off. So she does go ahead and take this game. So that was a nice game. And yeah, so we're going to go ahead and jump into another one, of course. As I said, we have plenty of battles. Sit back, enjoy it, guys. We have Tentacruel, and she has Kingdra, so seeing who does the most damage. Of course, Kingdra with that Dragon Breath is going to do a lot to us. We're going to go ahead and shield up this Outrage and go and charge up a lot of energy, getting off a Hydro Pump. I knew Hydro Pump would knock out Kingdra if she let it go through. She didn't let it go through, so that's unfortunate for us, but we do get Acid Spray right now, which is going to do a decent amount of damage, I guess, to Kingdra. It lowers its defense, but doesn't knock it out, unfortunately. So yeah, she's able to get off another move, which is going to be Outrage and doing a load of damage to my Meganium. So we do go ahead and knock out that Kingdra, but she brings in Magcargo, and I didn't even know what Magcargo got. I switched into Charizard. That was probably a bad switch, although she does switch into Venusaur, probably without seeing my switch. That's probably why she switched into Venusaur. I'm not really sure, but either way, it really doesn't matter because I had no idea what to expect when it came to Magcargo. I never saw it. I've never battled it before. I didn't know what moves it had. I assumed it had a fire move and a rock move of some sort, but I just didn't know. So I didn't know what to expect, guys. But we do get off a Frenzy Plant, and this almost takes it out. So we came close, but she does actually pick up the win in that game with Magcargo. So another Pokemon I should try out because it seems pretty interesting. I'm probably going to stick with Charizard for the cup in general, but I might want to try it out at least. But that was a good game. She does win with that Magcargo. So for this one, we have Shiny Blastoise against Hud Kingdra. Getting off a Hydro Cannon, we're going to go ahead and block this Outrage. I was hoping she would block the Hydro Cannon, expecting an Ice Beam, but I guess she didn't. And we're able to switch into Kingdra and knock Hud Kingdra out. So just waiting to see what she brings in, which is going to be that Venusaur. And we get off in Outrage right now. She's going to go ahead and opt to block that. It wouldn't have knocked out Venusaur, but it would have done a lot of damage, so I would have blocked it as well. But yeah, she's just going to town on me, getting off that Frenzy Plant, and that's going to be the end for Kingdra. So rest in peace, Kingdra. We'll bring in Charizard, knocking it out with Fire Spin, so decent position until she brings in that Magcargo. As I said, guys, I don't know what to do against Magcargo. I mean, we get off the Hydro Cannon, which is obviously super strong against Magcargo and would have knocked it out, but she had a shield. So I know Magcargo is rock and fire, so I know it's 4 times weak or double weak to water type. So obviously, you know, you have that, but you know, she does kick my butt in that game as well. But those matches were a day or two ago, and these are like from this night or whatnot, or the night before, whenever you're watching this video or whenever it's uploaded. But for this video, I begin with Raikou. She actually begins with her Venusaur, and I did purchase a secondary move on Raikou, and I 100% regret it. Not because I think it's bad. I actually don't think Raikou is bad. I just missed out 100k Stardust. You know, I unfortunately want it back. You know, I didn't want to spend it, unfortunately. I don't know why I did, but I think Raikou is still pretty good, and I might make my own video of it focusing on Raikou. This video is not focused on Raikou, but I might make a separate video focusing on Raikou. But anyway, I do switch in right now to my Venusaur against that Lantern, so I know it has Thunderbolt and Hydro Pump, so I know we could take those just fine. Getting off a Frenzy Plant, we do charge up a little bit of energy, or quite a bit of energy actually, before she switches into her Venusaur, so I'm able to get off a Sludge Bomb, which will knock out that Venusaur, and her final Pokemon is going to be Quagsire, so we actually are able to get to a Frenzy Plant, which is going to knock out Quagsire, so Venusaur really helping out. Any grass type, I guess, would have been good in that situation, obviously, against Quagsire. Quagsire is fantastic, but of course it's going to lose to Venusaur, Meganium, and other grass Pokemon. So good match, but we're going to begin another one. She leads with her Charizard, and I lead with my Poliwrath. And just going to town with Bubble. We're in a fantastic position. I do go for that Ice Punch to try and catch her off guard so she doesn't shield, which is what happens. So we almost knock out that Charizard, and now Bubble will be able to finish it off. And we do have a Power Up Punch and an Ice Punch ready to go, so I do go ahead and use that Ice Punch, hoping she would think I immediately clicked on Power Up Punch, and she would not use a shield, so we would do a lot of damage. But that doesn't happen, but that is okay, because at least we take a shield. So similar situation as last game, we have Venusaur against Lantern, and Lantern's just going to use Thunderbolt. We could take that, charging up a little bit of energy again, going for that Frenzy Plant, which will knock out Lantern. Frenzy Plant's so powerful. Whether you have Venusaur or Meganium, I feel like you need that Frenzy Plant, right? Because of how strong it is. Same with Blast Burn, you know. But anyway, we do use a Frenzy Plant right now against Venusaur to bluff the shield, and it works, so that's good for us. So now we could try and farm up that Sludge Bomb. I do use a shield expecting to reach Sludge Bomb, and we do go ahead and reach that. So, yeah, doing a lot of damage, not enough to knock it out, but that is okay. We're able to, well, our Venusaur will get knocked out, but we'll be able to bring in Charizard and just knock out Venusaur. So we do go ahead and take that one. So yet another fantastic game. Another fantastic game. And guys, as I said, don't forget to follow her on Twitter. I will link it in the description. I already mentioned that, but just in case you guys forget, I want to mention it again. But for this match, we have the better lead as well. A lot of these games, we actually ended up with the better lead. Just good predictions overall. You know, but Azumel versus Poliwrath, we do get off that play rough. And that Poliwrath is going to do a lot. She was, I guess, expecting me to bluff with Ice Punch, but I decided not to. Didn't think it was worth it. Even if she used the shield against Poliwrath, it's not too much more energy in terms of Ice Punch, right? So I didn't think it was worth to bluff. Anyway, she brings in Venusaur. I was going to switch, but I decided I have an Ice Punch ready to go, so we'll use it. And trying to get to another one, actually, and we're actually able to get to another one. So, way to go, Azumel, doing a lot of damage to that Venusaur. You know, Venusaur's a tank, so it could take it, but still doing a lot of damage. Gonna block this Sludge Bomb. You know, even if it was Frenzy Plant, it wasn't worth the risk. But, you know, we take this Frenzy Plant. And, yeah, knocking out that Venusaur, that's fine for us. She brings in Quagsire. I tried to switch. It doesn't go through, but it's able to go through the second time. So we're going to go ahead and block this Stone Edge because I knew I'd be able to get to a Frenzy Plant. And I believe she still had one more shield. Yes, she did. So definitely worth it for us because now she's out of shields. And we could take whatever move comes in, even a Sludge Bomb. You know, I was just kind of expecting Sludge Bomb, but I knew we could take it anyway. So we do go ahead and take that match. So again, a good lead for us, but that is okay. That is okay. So we're going to jump into another match, beginning with Charizard. She begins with her Venusaur. So again, another good lead. You know, as I said, we do lead good, or we predict her leads, I guess. And, yeah, she gets off the Sludge Bomb against me. I knew I would be able to easily take it. We get a Frenzy Plant, which would easily one-shot that Quagsire. But she does use the shield, which is fine for us. I'm going to go ahead and use a shield here because I knew I'd be able to knock her out with Vine Whip. And we would have energy ready to go, Frenzy Plant and Sludge Bomb. So whatever comes in, I could use accordingly. So we actually get off a Sludge Bomb against that Charizard, doing a lot of damage to it. She decides not to block. Maybe she thought it was a Frenzy Plant, which would have been a good guess, but it was a Sludge Bomb. She brings in her Venusaur, so we have to get out of there into Charizard. And as I said, I think Charizard is the dominant fire type in this cup. I mean, Ninetales with Flamethrower, which is Legacy, is good. I don't have it. I still think that's good, but unfortunately I don't have it. But I still feel like Charizard with Blast Burn is the dominant fire type. But anyway, getting off the Dragon Claw against this Charizard, and we're able to clean up that match. So we do take another game. So again, really nice game. Thanks for the matches. I really appreciate all these battles. So right now we're leading with Kingdra. She leads with Lantern. So not really a favorable match. I mean, it's kind of on even playing fields. I feel like we're doing a lot with Dragon Breath, but at the same time, she's going to be able to get to Thunderbolt. So that's going to force the shield. I knew this Outrage would force the shield though, because then if we were able to knock that, I don't think Outrage would have knocked out at that range, but it would have done a lot. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and use another shield just because I knew Dragon Breath would be able to finish off Lantern and would be able to use Outrage on whatever comes in. So as I mentioned before, I do think Kingdra is a fantastic Pokemon for this cup, but it does take shields, right? It does take 1 or 2 shields, as you saw. I used both shields. So getting off Outrage right now. But yeah, even though Kingdra does take shields to survive, it also can take shields from your opponent, as you see in this battle. So, you know, it all depends. You know, obviously if they lead Azumel and you lead with your Kingdra, that's not good for you, but because Dragon Breath won't be doing much to a fairy type, but yeah. So it does depend, but in my opinion, I do feel like it's really good. But both of our Charizards faint at the same time, and both of our Venusaurs are going to come in. But I felt pretty comfortable because I knew I could take a Sludge Bomb, and I knew we would be able to get to Frenzy Plant, which we do. And Frenzy Plant should be enough to wipe out that Venusaur as it is. So we do go ahead and take this one too. So another fantastic match, I know some of you had said you prefer the longer videos, some of you say you like the shorter ones. So we'll be going back and forth, this happens to be a longer video, but we'll have shorter videos as well. It just all depends, we'll kind of go back and forth as I said. But for this match, we lead with Poliwrath, she leads with Quagsire, and I will be able to take the Stone Edge because we do resist it. I was actually expecting a Sludge Bomb, but it was a Stone Edge, and we do get off a Power Punch. I kind of thought she would block that. I don't know if I would have blocked that or not, but yeah, she does knock out Poliwrath. Unfortunately, I probably should have blocked that Sludge Bomb because she was able to feint our Poliwrath before we were able to feint her Quagsire, even though it was close. But yeah, I'm definitely not switching into Venusaur, getting off a Blast Burn against that Charizard, which does a lot of damage, of course, because as I said, Blast Burn is the way to go, Charizard resist, it's a fire type, and look how much damage that does. She didn't use a shield, probably expecting a bluff, but we did not go ahead and bluff. Gonna go ahead and use Dragon Claw right now. This time I am bluffing because I knew it was too risky for her not to shield, but we do go ahead and get off a Dragon Claw because I didn't think I could make it to Blast Burn, and we're gonna take her last shield, so that's good for us. But I was a little bit concerned at this point because I'm like, Venusaur is super weak to that confusion, right? I thought we were going to lose, but she does use Poison Fang. We are able to get off a Frenzy Plant. I didn't think this would knock it out, but it actually does. It probably just knocked it out. So that was a close match, that was a close match. But yeah, when I saw that Venomoth, I didn't think I was going to win that because, yeah, I just thought that confusion would have just plowed right through me. But, yeah, but another good match, so we're going to jump ahead into another battle. Lantern versus Azumel. Again, this is a favorable matchup for us, so we do get off Thunderbolt. She's going to go ahead and block that one. And I'm not going to block this. I was expecting Poliwrath, as it was a Poliwrath, but I knew I would be able to take that anyway, or tank it. So getting off a Thunderbolt right now, and she's going to block it. So we actually take, what was that, both shields? We take both shields. So that's definitely good for us. And we do use a shield there because I knew I'd be able to get to a Thunderbolt. Now, I tried switching. I don't know what happened. I guess I accidentally clicked on Thunderbolt. I didn't mean to use Thunderbolt. I meant to switch, but that's okay. It happens. It happens. So I'm going to go ahead and take whatever attack this is. It happens to be a Sludge Bomb, but yeah, we still go ahead and take that. Probably because I was expecting a Frenzy Plant bluff, but it wasn't. So I'm going to switch immediately into Meganium to take this Ice Beam, which does just over half. And yeah, get into Frenzy Plant, and we're able to get to it, get it off to knock out Azumel, and that's going to be the end of Azumel. So her final Pokemon is going to be that Charizard. Couldn't make it to that Earthquake, at least I don't think I could have, so I do go ahead and use Frenzy Plant. And getting off a Blast Burn ASAP because we want to knock out Charizard, and it actually doesn't knock it out, but we have a shield left blocking Dragon Claw, and we're able to finish it off with Fire Spin. So we do take that game. So yeah, we're already over 18 minutes in, and we're still going strong, guys. So thanks for watching. If you made it to this part of the video, definitely leave a like, leave a thumbs up, and let me know if you're enjoying the battles. And thank you so much for watching. And I'll definitely have Shagness on the channel again because she loves PvP just as much as the rest of us do. So we'll definitely be battling on a daily basis. So you'll definitely see it quite a bit. But yeah, right now, Beedrill against Poliwrath, and Poliwrath is going to go ahead and use that Ice Punch. We're going to get off an Aerial Ace right now. I knew the shield had to come. It didn't, though. So we knock out Poliwrath. I guess she wanted to save the shield, which makes sense because she had Charizard that could finish off my Beedrill. So we're going to bring in our Charizard, and I was debating, is it a bluff, is it not? It actually was a bluff. I mean, that Dragon Claw would have still done a good amount of damage to us because Charizard is a frail Pokemon, but that's okay. we go ahead and take that last shield. And at this point, I actually got a phone call, so unfortunately, it cut off a little bit. I do apologize for that, but we blocked the blast burn that came in, and gonna go ahead and get off a Dragon Claw right now, which is going to be able to knock out that video. I'm sorry, I believe that this part was not sped up. I do apologize for that, guys. So the rest of this battle, I don't think was sped up. So yeah, our Charizard goes down, and then we bring in the final Pokemon, which is going to be that Venusaur. And yeah, really risky battle because, again, Confusion's doing a lot to us. Ice Beam is going to be able to knock us out, so she does go ahead and take that game. So yeah, that part of the video or battle was not sped up just because I guess, I don't know, I forgot to speed it up. But anyway, getting back to things, we're beginning with Tentacruel, and she begins with her Venusaur. And pretty good matchup for us. We do have that Acid Spray. Maybe Sludge Wave would be better. I'm not really sure. I do like Acid Spray. I really do, guys. But maybe the dominating move, the stronger move, might just be better just to go for that damage. I don't know, guys. That's how I feel about Quagsire. I'm not sure how I feel about Tentacruel, but I'm loving Tentacruel. Blocking the Frenzy Plant just because that we would have either been knocked out or been really close, because Frenzy Plant is just such a strong move. Such a powerful move, so we're going to wait a little bit to see what comes in. It's going to be that Lantern. We do get off an Acid Spray, and I'm not expecting a shield at this point because I'm not really going to do a lot of damage. I do decide to go for Hydro Pump just because the defense is lowered. I knew it would do a lot. It didn't knock it out. That's okay. I didn't think she would block expecting Acid Spray, so it makes sense that she didn't use the shield. We bring in Venusaur right now, and her final Pokemon is going to be that Slowbro. So when I saw that, I was like, uh-oh, because she has 2 shields left, and yeah, of course she's going to block this Frenzy Plant. And, you know, I'm trying to get to another Frenzy Plant. We're not able to do it. She would have blocked it anyway, but we bring in Charizard, and she gets off her Water Pulse move, which I believe knocks us out. Yeah, it knocks us out, so, yeah. You know, it looked like we were doing well, but she actually pulls it off with Slowbro. So Confusion, definitely a powerful move, and definitely a Pokemon I want to try out. Not necessarily Slowbro, but I do want to try out a Confusion user, whether it be Slowbro or Venomoth. So she definitely had a good game there. So good match. But for this one, I begin with Lantern. She begins with Azumarill, and this is favorable for us. She tries to bluff us with the Ice Beam. Not going to fall for it. I wasn't going to block that Poliwrath anyway, even if that's what she went for. But we go ahead and use Thunderbolt, and that's going to do a lot of damage to Azumarill. Almost taking it out, which is good because Azumarill is sometimes difficult to take out, isn't it? It's such a strong Pokemon. And so we do go ahead and knock it out, and we have a Thunderbolt ready to go. But I decided not to go for Thunderbolt. I don't know what I was thinking, guys. But we switch into Meganium. We're still taking a lot of damage from Confusion, but I guess not as much as like Venusaur would, because that is pot poison. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and block this one because we don't want to take an Ice Beam to the face. And in fact, Meganium probably couldn't have taken that. Yeah, we get off Frenzy Plant. Yeah, we're still taking a lot of damage from Confusion. You can see how powerful Confusion is, even to something that isn't weak to it. But right now, getting that Sludge Bomb off, gonna knock us out, unfortunately. But we bring in Trusty Charizard, getting off a Blast Burn, and that's gonna knock out Venusaur. So we do go ahead and pick up that win. So good match for us, and good game. But the battles are not over. You know, I said at least a half hour. It might actually be more than a half hour. I'm not too sure. But we're gonna jump into another battle. We catch her off guard with the lead again, beginning with Charizard. She begins with Venusaur, so tried to switch, didn't work at first, but then we're able to get Meganium in there. But again, we're still taking a good amount of damage. She's forcing a shield because of Ice Beam, so Meganium is strong against Slowbro, but Slowbro is also doing some good damage to it as well. But yeah, we do get off a Frenzy Plant in the hopes of knocking out that Slowbro, but that's going to force her last shield, which is good for us. I'll take that. Getting off another Frenzy Plant because she would have knocked us out before we were able to knock her Slowbro out, I do believe. So I didn't want to take any chances, but I knew whatever came in would be able to knock us out, but that's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in Charizard, going for that Blast Burn. Don't have to worry about a shield. I accidentally pulled up my record menu by mistake, so because of that we didn't get the 3 rings, and it didn't knock out Venusaur, so that forced a shield because of that. But then again, that's my mistake anyway, right? You know, we did it. So nobody to blame but myself, right? But getting off a Blast Burn against Quagsire, you could see how powerful Blast Burn is, guys. I mean, that's what that was 50% to a Quagsire, right? Maybe 45%, and Quagsire resisted. So I mean, that's just how powerful it is in general. So final Pokemon is Azumarill, and we're gonna get off the Ice Beam. We're gonna take the win, but that mistake, bringing up the recording screen and whatnot, could have cost me the match and whatnot, you know, but it's okay because then again, it is my mistake. So yeah, but we're gonna jump into another one, beginning with Poliwrath. She begins with Raichu. Now this may not look like a favorable matchup, but I'm actually okay with it because Raichu is so frail that even a power-up punch initially is still going to do some good damage, and we're going to force shields and whatnot. So I'll definitely take this matchup anytime. So getting off another power punch, that almost knocks it out. We're going to go ahead and use a shield. So she does go ahead and take our shield, but we knock out the Raichu, and we have a powered-up Poliwrath. So going for Ice Punch, hoping she would think I was trying to bluff her with Power Punch. Didn't work out. That is okay. I'm trying to get to another Ice Punch. Can I do it? Yes, I can. So we do go ahead and get to another Ice Punch. And now keep in mind that Poliwrath was maxed out, well, was very strong in terms of Ice Punch. So looking pretty good at this point. We have Meganium. And we do get through the Frenzy Plant before she was able to get to her Ice Punch, or not Ice Punch, Ice Beam, and we do take that game. This might be a little bit shorter than a half hour, actually. I don't really know, guys, but you get the point, you get the drift, right? But for this match, we're beginning with Raikou. She does begin with Charizard, and definitely a pretty good matchup for us, just trying to get to that Wild Charge, and we're able to do it. So we do get to Wild Charge. I knew a shield had to come out, unless she wanted to lose Charizard, but a shield has to come out from me. Even that Dragon Claw would have done a lot, because Raikou is a frail Pokemon. She brings in Venusaur. We get off a Shadow Ball, so that's good for us. But she's going to go ahead and block that. So again, we take a shield, actually getting off another Shadow Ball. So we're about to see how much damage it does. Does a good amount of damage, so you can see how fast Raikou charges up. So similar to Raichu, frail Pokemon, but it is good. But we're going to block that Sludge Bomb. Luckily for us, it wasn't a bluff. But she gets off another move, which is going to be Sludge Bomb. I was expecting that to be Frenzy Plant. I didn't think she had enough energy for Sludge Bomb, but I guess she did. That is okay. So she brings in Charizard as her final, not final Pokemon, but she brings it in. We bring in Blastoise, almost knocking it out, not quite. Dragon Claw not going to do a lot to us. And it was like, well, we could win this depending on what her last Pokemon was, and it wasn't a Azumarill, so I'm like, yeah, not looking good for us. That Poliwrath is neutral, so it's going to do a lot of damage. Hydro Cannon and Ice Beam are not going to do anything to a Azumarill, so she's going to go ahead and pick up this game for sure. Getting off that Poliwrath and not knocking us out, but come close. And that's going to be it for this one, guys. I will see you in the next video. Have a good day. Bye. Thank you so much for watching my latest video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to follow me on Twitter. If you like this video, click on one of the links to check out another one of my videos that you'll probably enjoy.